Yeah, let's do this. Zeus is excited. I'm excited. We'll do a little horsey check on our way to take a look at the back. It's an exciting day. I need a halter. Let's grab a halter. Moving on. Kind of an overcast, drizzly, rainy day. It's sort of mid-morning at the moment. Horses are doing pretty darn good, I think. Really is getting a little picky with food. Quick tip on the picky eaters. Free feed them. Let them sort of sort through what they want, and then sooner or later, oh, I missed. Try again. Got it. Sooner or later, they will just start eating, you know. So sometimes they're a little bit picky. Everybody's just chilling out right now. It's a chill out moment. Springer's his usual self. Eats from the back of the bag, which is super interesting. Never seen a horse do that. Poops and eats. Pretty clean little fella. Anyhow, going to the back. Busy morning, right, Zeus? What's happening, man? Let's go check it out. Hi, Sky. What's going on? You are a good boy. Yeah. Little tickle on the chin. What do you think? Some horses will really tolerate this a lot. Look at his nose move around, depending on where my finger is. Good boy. You're fun. I like that guy. Fish are doing great. There's tons of them. They're in there. 2 orange blobs. I think there's 2 schools of them. You can kind of see right there. Anyhow, fish. Exciting times. Today's the day. This is it. Last day of this paddock build for a little bit till we do the shelter. The paddock itself is complete. Got the fencing in. Obviously you've seen that. Got the gates, bought the gates, brought the gates, put the gates on. Let me show you how I did that. All right. We are at the 8th paddock. Everything's done except for the gate. So I thought I would talk you guys through the things that I think about when putting a gate on. Birds are going crazy. Kind of early morning. Rainy, well, a little rainy, drizzly. Yeah. Let's talk about what's happening here. So we've got our 8-foot gate. I put the post in already. You guys don't need to see post putting in process because that's boring. But essentially, as I said before, if you haven't seen the other 4 parts of this video series on paddock building, check that out. I will link them below. But essentially, I didn't put this post in. This is the hinge post, the post that the hinges, the bolts are going onto, until last. And the reason I put that up last is because I want to be absolutely sure, depending on the type of gate you get, you want to know for sure that it's going to fit just right. So put the gate in place, figure out where the post is going to go, put the post in, put on your fencing. Gate is very, very last. So that's where we're at now. So this post is plumb. Essentially, it's straight up and down this way and straight up and down this way. Now, I've said, I don't know if I actually said it when I was doing post pounding stuff, but I said in a comment, it's not that easy to get it perfectly right, and it doesn't mean it's actually going to stay perfectly right. For example, this other one is a little bit off. You can see the middle one doesn't quite, it's not quite there. And the end one is not quite there. But the gate one I was really super careful with. And so that's that. Anyway, so it's good that it's plumb, but it doesn't have to be. And I'll explain why in a second here. So the first thing we do is we put it in place, and I chained it over there so that it'll stay. And I've also got some twine just in case I need to tie it of some sorts. So the first deal is get it in place and then figure out your height. So what I've used is a couple of offcuts of 2x6 on the bottoms, there and there, and lifted it up off the ground to where I think I want it. A few inches off the ground, that's about right for me. And then level. So I've got a level here. And so we'll just check to see if it's level. There. And it is, right? Bubbles in the middle, that makes it level. Let's put that back over there for now. So I know that I now just need to figure out how much of a gap I want in here. Now you don't want a big gap, you want as small of a gap as possible to reduce the amount of leverage the whole gate, because when the gate is on here, it's going to pull the post. It's going to pull this post this way from the top down. So the closer you can get the gate, the better. It's just physics at that point. And so I've got it pretty tight. That's pretty good there, and that's a nice gap there. As you can see, if the gate is level and it's closer at the bottom than it is at the top, that means that this post is leaning a little this way. What are you gonna do? It's not much, but it happens. So, you know, don't be too hard on yourself. If it does, I'm not. Okay, let's get this gate on. These hinges here are excellent. It's a really good type of hinge compared to other gates that have sort of a clamp on one. These ones are put on, and then the whole thing is put together. It's put on, and then this is put on, kind of deal. The other thing about it is it's got this nice little piece here that's a stopper. So we're going to be starting with the bottom hinge because we know it doesn't go up any higher, whereas the top one has a variability of you know, the whole thing. So so we're going to do the bottom one first, and in this case, this whole rod here goes in and out off of this bolt in here, which is welded. So we'll just make sure that's all the way in, make sure that one is all the way in, and we're set for the other. We don't need to do anything with this. Right now, the next thing we do is we've got to take off these bolts, or nuts, sorry. There. And okay, let me put the camera down and let's get restarted with this. It's no good me holding the camera. Okay, so for this type of gate here, they're not all going to come like this. So the concepts are the same, but for this one exactly, it comes with 3 bolts or 3 nuts to go on here and 2 washers. The washers essentially are going to, the post is going to be here, and one washer goes on one side, and the other washer will go on the other side, and there'll be a nut on each side, like so. And essentially you just tighten down, and then we'll adjust these to figure out the angle of what the gate will be in relation to the post, which is why I said it doesn't matter if this post is exactly plumb, because we can make adjustments with the bolt. Now, they're all built like that, whether they screw in, you only screw them in so far. I wouldn't recommend getting the screw-in ones. They don't hold very well, and you only kind of get one chance anyways to get it on properly. But these ones, you can make adjustments all along, and if this post does start to move a little, you just make your adjustments on where the gate's going to be, which I'll show you at the end of this when we do final adjustments on it. The other thing about what we're about to do now, the next step, it is straight up and down, but if it wasn't, our next markings that we're going to make would be worked out at that point. So hopefully this post doesn't move this way or this way. That causes problems in the future, but it's in pretty tight. I don't expect it will. So let's get started with the next step. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is we have to figure out where our bolt holes are going to go. And I mean, the basics are, it's got to be pretty much, the bolt should be pretty much right in the middle of this post, but we just have to figure out the height. So the first thing that I'll do is I will find my level here, and I'll I'll probably eyeball where the center of this post is. You know, just based on looking at it. Then you take a level and you if it's dry, you could use a felt or a pencil to mark this, but it's really wet. Neither felts nor pencils work that well when it's wet, so I just use a screw and I'll scribe it, is what it's called. Just scribing it, meaning just make a mark in the wood. So that's my next step. So we'll just start here. That's about center there at the top, and then I'll just work out where that should go. And just scribe a line. I'll line the top of the level up there, and then get the bubble right in the center, and work out the bottom one. So it then ends up looking just like a slight scribe, a slight marking in the middle there and in the middle there. Once I've got that, now you can do these steps interchangeably. It doesn't have to be one then the other, but I need to figure out the height of the bottom one. So I could have put the gate here, put the bolt there, and then done a horizontal line. It doesn't matter which order you do this. So that's the next step. Let's do that right now. I think I will have it go right there. And this one I think I'll have be somewhere in the middle. This doesn't have to be precise, so I'll mark it somewhere around there. Make sure my scribe line goes all the way down, because it doesn't at the moment. Make sure that's center. And then we've got our crosshairs right here. This is where I'm going to drill a hole, and this is where I'm going to drill a hole. So, next step is to drill holes. Okay, so the drill in the holes is a hard part, because you got to get them both exactly straight and exactly level. Otherwise the bolts go in funny and the hinges hang a little bit weird. It's not the end of the world, of course, but you want to get it as straight as possible. The best way to do it, obviously, is with some kind of jig where you'd have, you know, a couple of 2x4s or something, and you have something up top, and then the drill would just go right through straight and steady. But this is more the off-the-cuff version, so mostly I just eyeball these things. It works out pretty good. But it does help to have a level. A smaller one than this would be a little bit more helpful, but I'm going to use this to make sure that I don't tilt my drill one way or another. And I can usually eyeball straight this way, so I'm not going this way or this way, and I don't want to go this way or this way. But level's a little bit harder. This way and this way is easier. So we're going to start with the bottom one, and we'll get the gate, and we'll put the bolt part in place and make sure that this is good before we drill this one. So that's the next step. Yeah, I think that'll work just fine. Let's drill our second hole. Okay, with my 2 holes drilled, I'm ready to mount the gate. Mounting a gate, especially on your own, is a little difficult, but you just keep wiggling it in and it goes. So let's do that. Okay, we've got the gate on here so far. As I said, you got to do a little bit of work to get these bolts through. Another way of doing it is, or in this case, because these are just threaded on, you can actually take this whole rod off and then push it through and then put it onto there or there, whichever one, and then you're only pushing one of them through. But this one's on now, and it's looking like these are pretty lined up. So I think I did a pretty good job. And the last step is to make sure that this nut is tight against here so that this rod doesn't come out of there. Same for there. And then we're going to make some adjustments to this one and this one with the washers here and here to get our gate level. So let's do a reference check right now. We are almost level, right? So this indication tells us that it needs to come up this way, just a hair. See, not much, and that would make it level. So we'll make our adjustments. I'm going to set one of them, and essentially you set based off of the gap that you want. So I'm going to make a little bit of bigger gap, so I'm going to push the whole gate this way by essentially just having this somewhere around there. I think that'll probably be fine. And then when I crank this down, the whole gate will move. So that's what I'm doing. So right here is where we're going to start cranking down, and this should all tighten up nicely. And pull the gate in. As you can see, you might be wondering how much to tighten it. Well, tighten it as far as you can. It needs to be tight. Now, I'm pretty good with that, so I'm just going to give this one a twirl. Make sure it's on tight. The washer's kind of in the wood a little bit. That's a good thing. Nothing wrong with that. We'll double check our gap. That's a nice gap. I like that. And then now we just need to make it level. It's actually almost there. So that's nice. So in such a case, it only needs to come up a little bit. So I'm just going to make a little adjustment here. Maybe about there, probably. And then crank this one down. That. Wrench, and we'll wait for this to go tight like that. Okay, check level. Still needs to come up a bit. So what we do is we loosen this one a little more so we can pull the gate upwards and keep going on this side. Okay, let's check level. Ooh, it's close. It is close. One more. Loosen this one and tighten this one. should be pretty good. Yeah, good. Very good. And then when you're done that, just double check that this side is tight. That's pretty good. This is cranked down. That's cranked down. That's up. And this is down. This is down. This is up. And that tightens everything down. And now we can test our gate. We can see that it's just sitting off of where I want it to be, so that's perfect. Perfect. All right, time to get some horses. So we are ready to put horses in. The gate moves nice and freely both ways. Right through there. Of course, there's a chair in the way because I was using that old chair to put the camera on. No squeaky squeak. Moves nice and straight. Doesn't wander once you put it. And we're ready to fill this place up with some horses. The only thing left to do actually is to get a couple of hay bags in here. Let's do that first. Okay, need a couple of horses and a bit of cleanup to get rid of that. Needed to use a skill saw to cut the fencing little bits off, the ends off. So today we're going to grab these two. Just waiting patiently. All right, let's do it. What's going on, Zeus? Poor Luke. He's getting all worried. Don't go anywhere. It's normal. Uh-oh, Roni's digging. Not very thick, so I'm a little worried about that stuff. He's going down for a roll. Ugh. Right in the corner. Ready, Alina? Go look around. So, that's it. The new paddock is physically occupied by horses. Nina's gonna have probably a roll in the same spot. Don't really want a lot of rolling happening yet. But what can you do? Horses are horses. Make it over, Lena. Atta girl. Shake. Oh. Oh, don't touch that line, Roni. The line is hot. It is working. They both are very well aware of hot lines. What's Luke doing? Pacing all alone. That's okay. That'll be resolved pretty soon. So, lots of space. Uh-oh. It's not playtime in here, is it? See, the area around here isn't quite that thick nor tamped down enough. So, Luke's excited. He says, why can't I play over there? You can't, because you're too playful. Luke's a little bit too playful. He, whenever I put him with anybody, I mean, he really enjoys it. And I feel sad that I can't really do it too much, but he is just a maniac. Okay, well, that's that. Even Sky's getting excited. See, when horses move around and change places and stuff, and yeah, they get a little excited for maybe an hour or so, and then it all just goes away. So they've got hay, lots of water. This is not staying here, but it's too heavy to move, so it has to stay there for now. I think I'll chuck Luke in the arena. Let him work himself out there. And these two can just explore. This is your new home for a while. Don't make a mess of it, okay? Yeah. Eat some moss, chew on some bark, rub on a tree, things like that. Okay. Well, let's chuck Luke out and clean up around here, because that's it for now. I mean, not for now, as in the whole day, but now for now. Yeah. Zeus. Hey, buddy. Hanging out, watching, observing. See, naturally sort of chewing on the stumps and stuff. It's good. So I put Sky and Luke out, the two most excitable horses at the moment. See how they react. Somebody said, does Sky play? He sure does. He is super playful, but he only likes to play with one horse at a time. So there you go. Very playful. Okay, gotta get in the arena. Hop up here. Look at these two. This is exactly what they did a long time ago when we first put them in there. They just chewed all the moss off of the log kind of thing. That's fine. It's a good thing. So, a little bit of horse behavior watching. See how much these boys run around and play. Just a little rainy, not too bad. Huh. Scritchy scratchy time, a little bit of roly-poly. Luke's going down, see if he's worth any money. He is $300. $250. Oh, that's it. 250 bucks. First buyer. There's a little tiny canter gets going on when he wants to play. I think Sky's going down for another roly-poly. Oh, whoa, holy, oh my goodness. Off he goes. Now it's a race to the back. Go get him, Luke. Where's he going? What? There they go. Burn some energy off. Check things out. Yeah, those two are... Whoa. Oh. See, they're fun. This guy is a lot of fun. He's got a lot of energy. You know, he's just not keen on playing with more than one horse at a time. So there you go. Oh. Luke keeps cutting him off. He's got a good drive line cut off. Check that out. Stays ahead of him. He's a bit of a cutting. He's a cutting horse that cuts horses. Let's see what happens here. Luke comes out a little ways, cuts off his drive line a bit, gets his butt in the way. This guy has to make a move. It's a race to the top. Luke makes it first. Speedy little guy. Says, I got this corner, sucker. Why? The question is why? And they're back. A race to the bottom. Nope. They already cut him off. Oh, Luke! Go get him! He says, no problem. I'm on it. It's a race. Look at him go! Woo! Oh man, it's an exciting day. It's race day, folks. We got a 7-year-old appendix, and I can't remember how old Sky is. Oh, bam! This is the most active playtime I've seen in a while. Whew, exercise all around. Zeus is barking at something. Probably a squirrel. Or because the neighbor's dog is barking a little, sometimes he joins in on the fun, whatever that is. Okay, 30-second break time's almost over. Luke says, we're getting to it. Look at my ears. Now my nose. You're gonna be moving, buddy. Maybe. Maybe it's a minute long, because that was a big run for these two. Oh, they're on the move. Water time, water break. Water break. Always have water in your arena or your turnout area. Horses need water all the time. See, Luke's got some draw. This guy's coming in. Says, well, I'll hang around you a little. Luke says it's water break, so whatever. What's happening here? Oh, Roni. He's gonna dig a hole there. It's not gonna be good. You're gonna have to go fix that. But he's gotta have a scritchy scratch, you know? So that's the way it goes. I'll get in there and fix it up shortly. And he's over. $1,000. Oh, here comes Lena. Oh geez, these guys are gonna poke holes in there. That'll suck. Well, they're pretty happy. Not like I haven't fixed another 50 holes in this place anyways, so. It's pretty deep in there, should be alright. What's going on with these two? Not much. You guys done running around? It's raining on here, I'm getting wet. It's fun to watch you, but oh, water break. For Sky. Roni's found this branch. There's one branch hanging down really low back there. Anyways. Okay, boys, I'm ready to retire from camera work for the time being. So if you guys are done, I'm done. That was fun. I love watching that stuff. Good action, good exercise. Good playtime. Oh, Luke says get moving a little. This guy says, how far would you like me to go? A little bit of drive, a little bit of draw. Look at that tail. This guy's tail is like, no! But yes. Active tail. Luke's got it refined. He's got things figured out. Level 5 certification. pretty darn good. I think we're gonna leave it at that. Yeah, I think that's it. These guys are good. Chewing on the log again. Little roly-poly, a little log chewing. No problem. Okay, that's it for now. I think I'm gonna end it there. I got my, hey, don't chew on that. You're in trouble. Now I'm coming down there. Take off. Good boy. Keep going. This is me shaking my tail. There he goes. Oh, got a little action. But that's it. I'm gonna end it there. I'll see you guys again tomorrow.